Well, there we are. Took a second, but we're up and running. There we are. Nice to see you. We had a little trouble getting started. There's the Casper boy. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. We're about a minute late, but we're up and running. We're glad you're here. And welcome to Coffee with Casper. There's the Casper. I got my coffee. Of course, I've been up for a while, so I've had my coffee. Nice to have you with us this morning. Let me know where you are, where you're checking in from. We're glad to see you. We've been gone for a few weeks, and we're back. We'll be up running for a few weeks. Good morning, Candace from Palm Desert. Nice to see you all this morning. There we go. Now we're up and running. All right. So let me know where you are. There's Arlen. Is nice to see you from San Clemente. Arlen, nice to see you this morning. Your video isn't working. My video isn't working. Well, it is working at my end. So I don't know what's up. Okay, let's see. Video isn't working. Now it's working. There we're up. We're going. We're live. We should have sound. You should have everything you need. Now it's working. There we go. Perfect. There we are. Okay, nice to see you this morning. Aloha from Hawaii, Ann. Nice to see you this morning. All right, well, we got a little slow start, but the tech stuff catches in, but we're going. So it's 8:32. We're going to go till 8:52. That'll be our move this morning. We're glad you're here. Tell people to reopen the app. It's working now. Reopen. Just go back and reopen your app. It's working now. There we go. We got Angelica. Aloha from Eureka. The wonderful Reverend Dr. Angelica Jane. All right. Let's. We're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to let out the sound awe. Okay. That's a releasing move. Here we go. Big breath in. Relaxing the shoulders. And just remembering the gong, the tone, is reminding us that we live in a vibrational universe, that we're sending out a tone, the sum total of everything we think, say, do, and feel. Creates a vibration. That vibration is going out from us and returning to us as the multidimensional aspects of our experience. What comes from me returns from me. That's the law of the universe. Here we go. Big deep breath in. Well, good morning, good morning. So today I really just wanted to remind us what we're doing. I've been doing Coffee with Casper now for over 5 years. Casper will be turning 6 in November, and he was the inspiration. The inspiration being that when COVID hit and everybody was all of a sudden shocked by the abrupt shift of life, we discovered, my wife and I and Casper, we discovered that we were doing fine. We were able to connect with our children, and then soon after the grandchildren, and we lived without the big fear that was happening in the world, in the midst of the big fear happening in the world. Now here we are, all these years later, and according to the daily news, there's something always to be frightened of. Humanity is changing. Global communication and social media have shifted the way information is moving around. And these changes have been happening technologically faster than they've ever happened before. And sometimes we need to pause and catch our breath. But here's where we're going. What the modern science now tells us. We're living in a world where two models are still happening, Newtonian science and quantum science, because one seems relevant in one way and another seems relevant in the other way. When in truth, there's only really one science. Consciousness creates experience. It is my consciousness that is returning to as my experience. What's coming from me returns to me. That's the law of the universe. What humans are doing is miscreating, meaning putting their attention on fear, doubt, violence, war, prejudice, all the things that are antithetical to what we really mean, which is oneness and liberty and justice and freedom and victory and equality and prosperity and the movement of a higher order of being. So the great philosopher from the last century, Ernest Holmes, had a wonderful line when he was asked what faith is. And he answered, he said, faith is an attitude so convinced of itself that it knows no opposites. Now, throughout all of the darkest times in human history, there has always been faith. There has been that capacity to see through the mist into the eternal and changeless reality and to bring that reality to bear. You look at Meister Eckhart, you look at St. Francis, you look at the saints, the sages, the mystics, the prophets, of course, the great Buddha and Jesus. These are all way showers who have lived seeing through the turbulence in the world. Now, the reality of quantum science is that the observer affects the experiment, meaning whatever you're looking at, the way you look at it affects what's happening to it. So what that means is that before anything is happening, we live in a vibrational universe, right? Before anything is happening, before there's any particle at all, it's a field of potential. And the field of potential consists of waves. And waves, when acted upon by consciousness, form whatever the consciousness is impressing upon it. So now what we know is there's a superseding principle that my consciousness is affecting the experiment. Now, if my consciousness affects the experiment, and the only thing that we know that is spirit. Good morning, Patria. Aloha from Hawaii. Nice to see you. We got some island folks with us today. Good morning, Graham from Tarzana. What we know then is that what I am bringing to the field, meaning if I am spirit, spirit is that which knows itself. So I am. You go ahead and say to yourself, I am. I am. There's no argument to that. It's when we put adjectives after, I am love, I am light, I am truth, I am wisdom, I am peace, I am poise, I am harmony, or I am fear, or I am doubt, or I am whatever we put after the I am becomes the object of our consciousness, right? So what we want to be doing is knowing that we're born in the image and likeness of the One, that the One has birthed the I am consciousness, which is the Christ consciousness, the Buddha consciousness, the Atman consciousness, the awareness of my relationship to the whole, regardless of who else is putting into it. Now we're part of a race, and the race puts in fear and war and prejudice and conquering and all these miscreations that are not necessary in a world that is unified, and the primary law of the universe is harmony. This is Judge Troward's wonderful announcement from the 1800s, that it must be harmony because otherwise eternality wouldn't be eternal. Something could rise up against it and destroy it. And eternally, energy and matter are equal and interchangeable. Energy is indestructible. It simply changes form. So there's no way that, as the ancient Moses said, underneath there are the underlying arms, that this having a faith in the invisible reality in the midst of the chaos of the rough seas, of the waves that have been caused by people impacting the field of consciousness with miscreations. And now we're at a time where there are people waking up. I am that I am, waking up to the eternal reality of myself, that I recognize that I'm an immortal spiritual being, superior to my mind, to my body, and to my experience. I have a mind, body, and experience, but who I am is something greater than that. And that faith in the I am that I am, drawing on that I am, and looking at life from the bigger picture. That in the midst of the chaos in the world today, in the midst of different opinions and different worldviews, it is possible to reach into your divine self, to reach into the I am that I am, and to know love, and to know harmony, and to know beauty, and to know peace, and to know kindness, right? And to bring those qualities forward no matter what's happening. For the first time in my life, I went on an ocean liner cruise. I was on the liner with my wife for 15 nights on this liner in 3 different oceans, from the North Sea into the Baltic Sea, and then into the Atlantic. And the boat was not that big a boat. I think the boat had 900 people. That includes crew and guests. And you're on a boat with 900 people who you don't know. And yet, if we live in a vibrational universe, then what we're wanting is, regardless of whether I know the people around me, whether I have a personal relationship with the people around me, I have a personal relationship with the I am. The I am that I am and the I am that they are. Because we are born in the image and likeness of the One, and we're born together in the One, already ordained by the One. How do we know? Because the life force within me, that which makes a liver live and a kidney kid and a heartbeat beat, is in me. And it's in you. And it's in everyone. Now, the difference is that we then can use that life force according to our consciousness. We can use that life force to separate from the false ideas of the race and to enjoy love and peace and beauty and freedom and belonging and connection and eventually health, wealth, love, and purpose being fulfilled. But we said, well, but I wasn't a superstar on that boat. People don't know my history. They don't know that I've been teaching the principles of metaphysics for 35 years consciously. They don't know that I have credentials. They don't know that I've written books. But they do know my vibration. And so what I seek to do, and what we all seek to do, some of you who have known me live and in some of the works that I've done in the world, know that I very often use these rods, divining rods, basically. And what I do with groups is I show the rods and show how the way your thought atmosphere is, what you're dwelling on, where your attention goes, is affecting the level of your vibration. And this is why we must have a spiritual practice as opposed to just the practice of reading the newspaper and hearing all of the unfortunate inhumanity to itself, mankind's inhumanity to itself, right, creates a mess. And it's only when we make a different decision to be a different kind of vibration, separating ourselves, not because we're not part of the race, but to be the place in the race where anywhere within my field of vibration, anywhere within the field of my arena, right, people who touch into my vibration can experience love and kindness and peace and belonging. Because daily I meditate and daily I do affirmative prayer. Daily I keep my mind into the appreciation of life and the bigger understanding that is not my job to save the world. It is my job to be a beneficial presence in the world, that my vibration throughout my lifetime can make a contribution to the forward evolution of humanity and its rising up. At the same time, that does not mean that I am not independently free to rise up in love and light and truth and belonging and connection, in abundance, in good and more good as being mine. There's no limit to that good that is mine. I must make the decision to separate myself from the anxiety of the race and to find that place of peace, an attitude of faith that knows that my beloved who birthed me into this expression, birthed me that I might be an instrument to heal, uplift, and inspire and bring forth more life. In the arena of my experience, wherever my vibration hits, right? And you are the same. Wherever your vibration hits, you have a right to be a beneficial presence, to be that place which is looking through to see where the love is, to see where the joy is, to see where the beauty is, to see where the commonality is, to see where our connection is, right? To literally let my eyes and my vibration go in front of me and make the way clear. But not if you're not working on your vibration. We said, well, how long do I have to do all of this self work? How long do daily I have to affirm the presence of the Most High? How long do daily I have to know that this is the day the Lord has made and I am rejoiced and glad in it? How long do I have to practice knowing I'm radiant, vibrant, dynamic health? How long do I have to share that love with my body, with my mind, with my body and my experience? How long do I have to be willing to gregariously share what I know is truth out into the world? How long? Right? The answer is until the reality of your good outshines anything unlike it. Right? That you become the place where love and light and joy and wisdom are now coming from you and returning to you, right? But we must do the work, and the answer is how long? Until it's apparent, until the reality of my transcendent authority is apparent in my world, in health, in wealth, in love, in creative expression, in belonging. And this is why we end up having faith in this invisible thing called source or energy or the one or the beginning or the giver of all life, love, and beauty. And we begin to work on commingling in that unity with the one. And then we go out into the world. And yes, the turbulences of the world is going to be there, but then we can be a place where we are continuing to sail smoothly through the waters, regardless what the waters are doing. And by being that presence that is sailing smoothly, that is relying on that peace that passes understanding, that is meditating daily on the I am that, and that the I am presence within me is guiding, guarding, protecting, and directing me and leading me into the paths because I am invoking it. Nothing happens unless your consciousness acts upon that field of potential to impress it with what you mean. I mean, good and more good is mine. I mean, there's no limit to the good that is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it. It crowds itself against me. It flows through me. It multiplies itself around me. I must establish the consciousness that becomes my own law of attraction. That I establish the consciousness that says I can be kind in all situations. Now, we will fall short. We will fall short of the high mark, but if we go back and daily we practice and daily we're relying on that which is source to guide us, to show me the way to bring more love, more light, more joy, and in fact more magic into the world, right? We deserve all of this good. There's no limit to this good. We can have it. We can share it. We can be part of it. But we must invoke it. And we must separate ourselves from the headlines in the news, from the wars, from the hatred, from the attacks, from the aggression. And simply know that we have a right to carve out our own space, the space where the I am that I am can bring more and more good into my life. More love, more light, more joy, more peace, more belonging, more connection, more appreciation, that I can go deeper and deeper into the one. Just me and the I am that I am. Establishing the consciousness to bring forth the peace that the world is searching for. Peace on earth and goodwill toward all humanity. This is the time for you and I as light workers to carve out our niche, in consciousness so that we know what we're telling this field of potential. We're telling this field of potential love and more love, joy and more joy, abundance and more abundance, peace and more peace, kindness and more kindness. You are a light worker in the world, and who you are is something important. And what you bring to the world is something important. So take the time. Carve yourself out in the awareness of your unity with all life. Carve yourself out as a light worker in the world, that light shall shine upon the darkness, and the darkness will not comprehend it. the darkness will simply give way to the light, because that's what happens. We have the right to find a peaceful countenance, to live in that peaceful countenance, and to bring that peaceful countenance into the world through our vibration every day, in every way. Who you are is something magnificent. The light that you're bringing to the world is something magnificent. Carve your space out. Vibe, your unique gift of life and love and appreciation and joy. Bring it into the world, in you, as you, through you. You have the right, you have the power, and you and the source together are incomparable. You are the conquering, victorious presence of the Christ, the Atman, the Buddha, the High Self, the awakened one in the world. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. You're watching Coffee with Casper. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8:30. We'll make sure we'll get all these glitches going so we got good, clean broadcasts coming out from the beginning. And join us next week. And do me a favor, if you've gotten anything valuable out of our time together today, share this video. Share it with your friends. Share it with like-minded. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. Share it wherever you can. Find it in your groups. Let's together march forward and bring forth a new day, the day that has been promised. For this is the dawning of the age, and we're the right people at the right time, doing the right thing. Until we meet again, we invite you to go in the light, as the light and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. Bye for now. We'll see you next Tuesday, 8:30 Pacific Time. Bye for now.